Who is it?
To Michelle.
As you may guess with my accent, I'm from Quebec. And
Bonjour.
bonjour. There is a difference in the education system out east. Every province has their advantages, and that's what I love about our Canadian Constitution and the fact that healthcare and education are professional, or provincial, I mean, because we can all do our own mistakes in our provinces, and by having our diversity, then we can learn from each other. Because there is a unifying factor in our Constitution that is that you are allowed to move from one province to another and get work wherever you go. And that makes it equal, right? So we have to offer a good education system in BC, otherwise we're going to lose people. Now, what I'd like to see for funding of schools, specifically from kindergarten to grade 12, is I'd like to see a multi-level type of funding. I'd like to see municipalities be able to fund their schools. For that, it would mean that the province would have to take less taxes and leave more place for the municipalities to take more taxes and get involved in education. But the problem I find too is with private schools is when kids are going to private schools and you don't have to pay for them anymore. And I know it's not popular, but I invite you to think about what it would mean to finance private schools. It would mean that they could not be ghettos for people who can afford them. I went to a private school in Quebec. Do you know how much my parents were paying a year? $2,500 a year. That's a trip. That's a vacation. I think people can make the choice to skip the vacation and invest in private school if they feel they're going to get a better service there. But we're still getting a good service in public that way.
I'm not sure what the cost per child right now is, but I believe it's around $7,500 per student a year. And I'll pick up what Michelle was saying, is that why are the private schools and the Catholic schools succeeding where the public schools are failing? Now, my children, of course, went to public schools, very happy with the public school system. But I'm wondering why we can't have, and I know there's a lot of talk about charter schools, and the opportunity, for example, to have more private schools, and broaden instead of just being forced to go with the public school system. Again, my two children have gone from Cleveland to Carbon to the school at Carson Graham, and the friends that they started off with in elementary school lasted in Carson School, and in fact they're in business together at 35 years of age. So. Public school isn't that all bad, believe me.
Teachers are concerned about the welfare of children who do not have access to quality daycare at an affordable price, and we see those children in our classes every day. And I teach in an inner city school in North Vancouver. So how will you advocate for universal, high quality, affordable daycare?
Okay, our party does not have a platform on daycare. Myself personally, I'm wondering why, if you go to the province of Quebec, you can get daycare for $7 a day per child. The reason why is the federal government gives Quebec a lot of money for daycare. British Columbia, our government has not advocated for our children, has not gotten the money from the federal government for daycare. But I think that if Quebec is going to be getting daycare for $7 a day, British Columbians also deserve that as well, since the costs are also higher here, the cost of living and stuff. Also, I think that parents that spend money on daycare for their children should get a tax credit on their income tax bill, and the Liberal government is not advocating that. They're just kind of abandoning the children. So that's my position on that.
I'm right in the ordeal of daycare. I have a 10-month-old at home, and EI finishes at the end of May. What I've seen out there is sad and scary. It's semi-basements, and that's if it's not a complete basement. It's neons, it's old plastic toys. The only daycare I saw where I felt comfortable leaving my child was $75 a day. How am I going to make that much money as an acupuncturist? It's not happening. Might just get the second one and figure it out as we go. But it's a real issue, daycare. If you want women to participate in the economy, you need daycare. And unfortunately, it's the women that are still left at home because we still don't have pay equity. But I think we're all going to have to stand up and ask for it. It's very frustrating for me when I hear my friends at home going back to work and being very happy about it, and they're paying $7 a day. So believe me, it is on my priority list. There's so much things a child can learn in daycare to get them ready for school. I arrived in first grade and I could say the alphabet and understand 3 languages because of daycare. And I think all our children are entitled to that form of education. There are great progressions done everywhere outside of Canada and the States, it seems, in pre-kindergarten education, and we're lagging.
Reform BC would take a look at introducing a payroll credit for people, for example, that would be able to have a little more opportunity to advance into their private daycare centers or private small businesses. One of the proposals that Reform has is to eliminate or replace the provincial or the income tax in British Columbia for a sales tax and a business occupation tax. Now, I have a business in Seattle, Washington, whereas there is no state tax. We have a business occupation tax, which is about 1/4 or 0.5% of the sales tax, which goes to the state, which goes back through the communities. And what we can do is we can incorporate a payroll tax based on that, and taking those monies and helping small businesses, whether it be healthcare, whether it be daycare, or any of the small businesses that need help through a payroll credit. If we could do this, we'd have more people working, because if you follow the money, instead of keeping it into government's hands, why not take the money, put it into the employer's hands, it goes into the people who are working, and that money is filtered out because they're going to be spending it. Thank you.
Thank you. I know we're all agreed that education is the most important investment we can make in our future, and that's why it's essential to make sure that all children have access to quality education, including universal high-quality daycare. I think if you make more efforts at the beginning of life to enrich the lot of children and to make it opportunities available for them to have a good start at the outset, then you save an awful lot of social distress, perhaps down the road a piece. So the NDP, my party, is incredibly committed to making education in children a priority. When I was on council 18 years ago, we were trying very, very hard to fill the gap left by a provincial government that had not considered children a priority, and we made every effort to encourage home daycare opportunities in our residential neighbourhoods. We even developed a grant program to help daycare businesses be as best as they possibly could be in the absence of any sort of significant Liberal government funding. So I think the field has been abandoned at the moment. I think what you need is a commitment by a new government to put children first. That includes daycare, kindergarten, all the years through high school, and including post-secondary and beyond. So it's a continuum of funding and care and prioritizing our children, because they are indeed our future, and we need them to be functional and competent and the best that they can possibly be.